I'm doing a blog review on Lindsay Craver's blog called Apathy for Beginners. It's day 187 because this blog really hit home with me. Lindsay has been somewhat of an inspiration for me in terms of her leading by example and being an example, because I remember back when I just started the process and started reading about destiny and equal money, and it was a time when I was basically sitting around doing nothing with my thumb in my ass, as they say. And when I started reading the destiny material and seeing how it's quite possible and necessary to do a little bit every day in order to educate oneself about the world, and gives the tools to motivate one, not motivate, but teach one how to push oneself to actually look at your world and reality and see that every single one of us is quite capable to do more every day, to practically apply ourselves in our world to become people and individuals that are willing and able to stand up for change. So at the beginning, when I wasn't doing anything, I was just basically, I had a job and would, go out with friends and watch television and movies and hang out and basically live a life pursuing likes and avoiding dislikes. And I started reading the Destiny material and being like, realizing that I could do a lot more and that it was necessary for each one of us to do a lot more. And she was one of the first ones who actually started writing every day and being consistent with her own process. And when you see someone else doing it, you start to look at yourself and be like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. And so in the blog, Apathy for Beginners, it's her facing this point of having a lot on her plate in terms of school, doing volunteer work in order to gain qualifications for entry into grad school, the Destiny I process, which is a commitment, a daily commitment, keeping up with the equal money system and the Destiny community, which is constantly active and doing things, and it does take daily commitment to stay on top of everything that's going on there, as well as assisting and supporting others with their process. All of these things require time, and it becomes a time management issue to be able to do all these things and leave time for yourself to enjoy life and not go crazy working all the time, because that's not productive. That's almost, it is self-sabotage to work all the time and not give yourself time to take care of yourself, which she addresses also. So in the blog, she addresses all the self-talk or backchat that is making her feel overwhelmed and like she can't do it. I went from doing nothing to going to school and blogging every day, reading the blogs of others, and doing as much as I can to assist and support others through their own processes, reading up about equal money and the principles and how they're applied in reality, educating myself about how reality functions, doing the Destiny I process. And I would tend to, and still do, struggle with making time to do it all, changing my habits from a life of basically, doing whatever I want, to a life of the realization that we all have to put in our time to become the people that we will have to become if we're going to be relevant and be part of any kind of solution. So in her blog, she mentions a lot of backchat about the Destiny I process and how she's not going to have time to do it. And the cool thing about that is that the Destiny I process, although it's a commitment of time, it also teaches us how to manage our time better, and how these conversations we have within ourselves, such as, I'm not going to have time to do this, I'm tired, I'm only one person, I can't make a difference, all that kind of stuff. The Destiny I process teaches us how to look at what we're actually saying to ourselves and take it apart into how these conversations within ourselves are completely ideas that, left unchallenged, will direct us and direct who we are and lead us to, feeling overwhelmed and not doing anything. Her point in the blog is that she's having these thoughts such as, I'm not going to have time to do whatever, my Destiny I process work. And then look at that thought and be like, well, have I even tried? Have I even scheduled my time in a way that I've followed that schedule and made sure that I got all the points I need to do throughout the day, and not, dilly-dallied here and there, and just been able to structure my time and see if I'm actually able to do this. Because if we have these thoughts and don't even test out, what we're capable of, then we are allowing these thoughts that are based and grounded in nothing to determine who we are and how we live. So this has been a really cool blog for me to read, and much needed, because I have found that making excuses for not having time to do stuff just because I was so used to a life of not requiring myself to do anything, but basically just enjoy myself, which I wasn't even really doing. So that transformation of living that the principles of, I'm only one person, I can't do all this stuff, and I don't have enough time, based on the fact that I've never tried, they're just excuses. So after reading that blog, once again, Lindsay has been quite a good example of self-honesty and just not putting up with any BS from ourselves in terms of limiting ourselves and making excuses as to why we can't do this, why we can't push ourselves. And it's not to become these, crazy workaholics, but it is to schedule time effectively so that you get everything done and have time for yourself, and prioritize things accordingly, and spreading it out over a long period of time. Because when you do a little bit each day in a structured way, you get a lot of stuff done and have time to be able to enjoy your life and world. So if you experience these time management issues and pushing yourself through your day, maintaining a schedule, getting the most out of your day, anything like that, I would highly recommend you read the blog, because it is the actual application of the Destiny I process, wherein we look at the thoughts we're thinking and how they are directing us and limiting us from being our full potential, which you can't say you know what your full potential is until you try, at least try. try not listening to those thoughts and try pushing yourself through the energetic resistances that come up, because of excuses and past experiences that are dictating how we're being in the present moment. So it's all about testing it out for yourself and pushing self to see what self is actually capable of, instead of listening to ungrounded thoughts based on nothing but fears and past experiences and voices in the head that have no basis in reality. So I'll post the link to her blog below, as well as some other really cool links. Thank you.